The world isn't slowing down. Technology, industries, and our personal lives are changing at a faster pace than they ever have before. So, how do you not just survive, but actually thrive in this environment? In this video, I'll show you why adaptability is your ultimate superpower and how you can cultivate it to unlock your potential. I'm Jeff, the creator of Epic Mind Visions, where we explore timeless wisdom and merge it with actionable strategies for thriving in a rapidly evolving world. Today, we're focusing on the principle of adaptive evolution. This is an aeonic principle that I like to talk about, which teaches us that adaptability is the key to growth and resilience in our lives. By the end of this video, you'll understand why adaptability is so important, how to develop it, and how to use it to navigate change with confidence. I remember earlier in my life when I was just absolutely terrified to speak in front of people. I've heard that speaking in front of people is a greater fear than death itself. I'm not sure if it was that extreme for me personally, but what I do know is that I spent decades of my life hiding and avoiding the situations where I would have to speak in front of people. I did everything I could to avoid speaking in front of even in smaller groups. And when I did have to, my palms would sweat. I would get flushed with fear and anxiety. It was debilitating. And when I look back on those days, I realized that it prevented me from even considering many of the opportunities for growth in my life that were right in front of me. Over the years, I struggled immensely with this anxiety and I wanted to overcome it so badly. I just didn't know how. I was too afraid to even take the steps to figure it out. Then one day I finally had enough. I found a Toastmasters group near me and I started going to the meetings. And I remember those first speeches were disastrous. I was terrified, sweating, like I said, and almost having an out of body experience in the moment. It was so much for my nervous system to take. But I stuck with it. And over the next 4 years, I had so many opportunities to take the reps of speaking in front of a group that's what it took was just the reps of going through that process and feeling that fear and overcoming it. I sometimes want to judge myself when I look back on those days and judge myself for taking so long to work through that fear. But that fear was so strong that that's just what it took for me. Instead, I now focus on the immense courage that it took, the immense courage that I had to face those fears and to keep taking action to move forward. Every single Monday morning at 7 a.m. for 4 years, I went to these meetings to better myself and overcome this fear. Standing here in front of the camera right now and having spoken in front of crowds hundreds of times, it's satisfying to know that I accepted that challenge. I did the work and I'm now reaping the benefits of that work. My life would be much smaller if I had not taken that action to invest in myself and my growth and to build the confidence that it took to overcome those fears. Now, this is a great example of how adapting to the future version of myself that I wanted to be has created a world of opportunities that I never could have imagined before. I had a vision for my work, I had a vision for my personal life that just would not be possible without that kind of growth, that level of growth. So I took the responsibility for myself and I made it happen. Despite the fears and despite the time and hard work along the way, I'm so proud of myself for doing that. So this is adaptability, and it's a skill that allows anyone to pivot, to evolve, and to thrive in the face of change and challenge. It's not just about survival, it's about growth. There's a lot of scientific support for this in neuroplasticity, for example, the brain's ability to rewire itself in response to new experience and new challenge. It shows how we're actually designed to adapt and to evolve. And then there's a biological evolutionary side of it as well, where species that survive and thrive are those that adapt to their environment. It's a principle that applies equally to individuals in nature and to organizations. So change is a constant. Technology evolves faster than ever, reshaping industries, reshaping how our relationship with our lives and the world around us. Social and cultural norms shift with every generation, and personal challenges like career transitions and relationships require flexibility and adaptability. Think about Blockbuster and Netflix or Kodak versus Sony cameras. One of those resisted change and the other embraced adaptability, which led to a great deal of success along the way. When we resist change, we get stuck in patterns that no longer serve us. This leads to frustration, it leads to missed opportunities, and can even lead to burnout when we're just cycling through these cycles of fear, loops of fear. So many resist change because it feels uncertain, unstable, uncomfortable. But this fear, if we don't face it and overcome it, will prevent our growth and it will create stagnation in our lives. For example, someone who stays in a job that they really don't like just because they fear the change, that person is missing out on opportunities to grow professionally and personally. As I mentioned before, my fear of speaking in public cost me so many opportunities in my life until it became too painful for me to experience that. My belief in who I was no longer aligned with my reality. I believed that I was more than that. So it was up to me to take that responsibility and make the shift happen into the person that I was meant to be. It's such a beautiful process to experience and to be able to look back and be proud of the action that I took. So, how do you adapt or how do you develop adaptability as a skill in your life? Here are some actionable steps. First, embrace a growth mindset. Believe that the challenges and opportunities are just there for you to learn and grow. They're there for you to be able to reach your highest potential. They are the catalysts in your life that are designed for you specifically to overcome, to reach that level. If you're struggling with new technology, for example, view it as a chance to build valuable new skills rather than seeing it as an obstacle or something that's not possible for you. Another key is to stay curious. Curiosity opens the door to new experiences and perspectives. Practice this, like regularly expose yourself to new ideas, new books, new industries, new people, new relationships. Expand your horizons in every moment as much as you possibly can. Another key is to build emotional resilience. Adaptability requires the ability to bounce back from setbacks as quickly as possible and not getting stuck in a loop. Use mindfulness, use journaling. I talk about these a lot on this channel to process your emotions and maintain the clarity that you need and the motivation during challenging times. Another key is to take incremental risks. Start small by stepping out of your comfort zone in manageable ways. Try speaking up in meetings if you're uncomfortable, or explore a side project in a new field. For me personally, just getting in the room at Toastmasters, they had, before you gave a speech, they had multiple opportunities where you might have 1 minute to share. Those were small incremental steps that allowed me to get up in front of an audience and speak for longer periods of time. And finally, focus on long-term vision. Keep your goals in mind so that as you're striving for those larger goals, you can navigate the short-term challenges that are going to come up along the way with that purpose and alignment. These are challenges are inevitable, right? So if a new role that you're in or a new way of being feels intimidating, remember that alignment, how it aligns with your bigger goals and your longer term aspirations. Here's how you can apply adaptability in different areas of your life. For example, in business, regularly assess trends, not only in your own industry, but in industries that are related to yours, and pivot so that you can create strategies to stay relevant. Companies that adapted to remote work over the past few years have thrived, while the ones who stuck with an in-office model have not done as well in general. In relationships, be open to the evolving dynamics of the relationship, whether it's adjusting to new family roles or supporting a partner through a challenge or a change, becoming a father, for example, or becoming a caretaker for someone in your family. These are of the evolving dynamics that I'm talking about. If you're navigating these things together, maintaining open communication and continuing to align yourself with shared goals are going to serve you very well in these relationships. In personal growth, embrace new hobbies, have new experiences, whether it's travel, like I said, hobbies, different experiences that you can have, and learning opportunities to build that mental flexibility that allow you to get out of your comfort zone. Join masterminds. For me, this has been a massive transformational activity. I've met some of my business partners in masterminds. I've met a lot of people, built my network and my skills by going to masterminds and learning what's working for people in real time. I surround myself with people who are where I want to be, and that takes me one step closer to that reality for myself. Taking up meditation or learning a new language, all of these things expand your ability to adapt to the diverse challenges that are inevitably going to come up in everyday life. The faster the world changes, the more powerful and the more valuable the skill of adaptability becomes, because you're not just surviving, you're thriving and you're evolving into that highest version of yourself along the way. So start practicing these steps today and watch how your life begins to transform. If this resonates with you, like, comment, subscribe, and join me on this journey. Here's a question for you. What's one change in your life that you resisted but now see as an opportunity? Share your story in the comments. Until next time, remember, change isn't the enemy. It's your greatest ally when you embrace it with an open mind and an open heart.